And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to FPL. Don't panic. What's going on, I hear you ask? What is this whole new environment? All I can say is what you're going to lose in Turtle, you're going to gain in Cat. I just have wanted for a wee while to start using the spare room as like a little office for my videos and some of my other projects and things. So this is just the beginning. A few more things to do, but you'll notice a few things around you here. What have we got? We have a global map. So first thing I'll do, and I did when I first intended to do this a couple of months back, and you know, look, I don't generally ask for likes, comments, things. You're either engaged or you're not. Those that find me, find me. On that note, sorry, I'm jumping around here a bit right at the beginning. I've actually got over 500 subscribers, I just noticed. I think that happened sometime in the last week or so. Thank you guys. Let's first start doing these videos just over a year and a half ago. I really was just doing them just because I needed something to do. I was stranded in a snowstorm in Ireland, and I was going to be there with very little to do other than taking care of a few things there for a few months. So I started doing a few videos just for a wee bit of fun. It was pretty much me just talking to myself, and as I mentioned before, very rarely ask for likes or comments or subscribers. You either find me or you don't, and 500 or more of you have found me, and I know just from the analytics on YouTube, most of you keep coming back. Yeah, mad bunch of fuckers. Thank you so much. I do so much appreciate it. Sorry, back to the point in hand. Yeah, so since I got back to New Zealand, just had an idea just to set up this little room as a little bit of an office for doing my videos and a few other things. What I've noted, and I'll be interested, is the audio quality. Now I do have a studio mic that I need to get set up at some point, but I feel that the audio quality might not be as echoey in here. So let me know if the audio quality, because I'm quite echoey in that other room. It's quite a big room. It's got a lot of sound bouncing around in it. I think it's a little bit better in here. The map, right. A while back when I first planned to do this, but a bunch of stuff happened. I didn't get around to it. I asked a lot of you or anyone that wanted to just let me know where in the world you were tuning in from. And I've started the process. I'll see if I can find that old video and work out which one it is. But even if you said so before, or even if you didn't say so that time, let me know where in the world you are. Welcome to FPL. Don't panic. And I'm going to put a pin up on the world map for you. So that map will serve one purpose. That's just, you know, where people are tuning in from, and hopefully it's just covered in pins over the next rest of the season and ongoing. This is a special one. This is for Bishop Brennan Cup winners, and you'll see how it will be used. But again, yeah, we can find out where our Bishop Brennan Cup winners are. I'll see if I can track back and find the winners. But yeah, if you were a Bishop Brennan Cup winner this year, let me know where in the world you are also, and you'll get a sticker. And by the end of the season, there should in theory be 38 stickers on there. Yeah, I'm gonna give you all a sticker, a well done sticker, and you'll be, we'll change the catchphrase, on top of the world. Oh, I'll put that back there. What else? Oh, and I know that is just there behind me is a Gaelic football jersey, not a football jersey. I'll see if I can dig out my old Eric Cantona one, which I used to wear when I was going to Old Trafford, and pretty much screaming my lungs out in the scoreboard paddock, watching Cantona blast in spectacular goal after spectacular goal. Got the whole collar up, so I'm going to see if I can dig that out. Won't fit me now though, be a little bit tight around the midriff. That's it. So yeah, I'm moving myself in here. Doesn't mean you've seen the last of Turtle. I'm sure I'll do the odd video from the kitchen table with the turtle behind me, but I think I'll do the bulk of them in here going forward. Right, that's a little bit of a waffle on why this has all changed, and there will be further changes behind me as I sort of fully decorate that. Right. Ah, lordy, what a game week once more, eh? Where to begin? Let's start at the beginning. I think the game week began for most of us about 10 minutes before deadline, when we got the news that Foden and Haaland were both benched. So my own moves were, fuck it, taking the hit, transferring out Foden, and I brought in Enzo. So for once a hit did actually work. and I did actually manage to somehow or another, because I actually did. But yeah, Haaland came on for his one. Well, not came on. I kept him on just in case he came on for 30. Got his 1 point. Initially, I thought with Nunes surprisingly playing that was going to cost me some bench points with Brobby. But in the end, I needed all 11, and the hit kind of paid off, I guess, even despite it being an absolute shite of a game week. And yeah, it's just a bugger of a game week. I know a few of you, I think, did change your captaincy. That did hear the catching some of the deadline streams and change your captaincies from the likes of your Ekatiques to Gabriels. I think there was even a Tarkowski in there, which is probably one of the better ones, with all the blanks. From strikers again, what striker scored this week? Watkins, João Pedro. Anyone else spring to mind? Bowen. Yeah, not sure. Talk about that in future transfer plans, or potential future transfer plans. I do know someone, no names mentioned, actually did hear the deadline stream, caught the news on Haaland, proceeded to let friends know, and then failed, but didn't make it in time to change his own captain from Haaland. And all I can say there is a little analogy that I came up with. If you're on a plane, you've got kids with you, and the plane starts to go down, it's in the rules. It's got to look after yourself first and get your own oxygen mask on first before you start looking for the kids. And I think the same applies to deadline stream news, especially when it's tight. Sort your own team out first, then let everyone else know. But to be honest with you, I don't think there'll be a few that have come out well with the change in captaincy. I suspect for most that missed it, there wasn't too much damage done in the end. As I say, my own Rice baby, maybe, no, didn't come off. I don't really want to talk too much about this game week. I mean, I swear to God, I look at my team most weeks going out. The way I plan things, you've seen it in the spreadsheet. We'll get to next game week shortly. Look for a bit of form, some good fixtures going forward. I think I plan out my fixtures going forward very, very well, but it's just not working. I mean, it's going to be the same this week. I've got 11 pretty decent fixtures there. It's just not working. It is, as you can see. I'll just make it a bit bigger there, and I'll just get rid of it just to emphasize the message. It's just this fucking yo-yo. I swear to God, I cannot find a level of consistency. I mean, the real damage, I guess, was done around 8 or 9, because if I had this wobbly line, this roller coaster, if that had been happening back when I was sort of sitting around 200k, it wouldn't be too bad. Unfortunately, I got myself right out of the top 1 million. I've clawed myself back in, but since then it's just been like 700,000, 900,000, 700,000, 900,000. There is just no consistency, and quite frankly, it's driving me fucking potty. It really, really is. And I don't necessarily. I mean, I make a few daft decisions, I take a few punts, but nothing really that outrageous. What's hurting me, I think, as I say, is trying to stay off template a wee bit. And I think, who do I think? Who are the ones that would have hurt me this week? In a bad game week, the ones that I think would have really hurt me will be Wilson. Why haven't I gone Wilson? I like Wilson. I was talking about Wilson last year. I thought that boy is some player. Why haven't I gone Wilson? He's Rogers. Rogers is another one. I mean, it's not a consistent return week on week, but there's a consistent 2 or 3 returns every 5 game weeks. And you know what? The way this season has gone with these incredibly low averages, that's all you need, really. Yeah, I've no answer, and unsure what I'm going to do going forward. I have a million and one thoughts. Let's talk through the team for the next game. I don't think there's too much point doing this one to death. It's an absolute. The Tarkowski DEFCON helped a little bit, because I was sitting at over 200k red at one point, so it's it's softened it a little bit, but it's still not great. So let me just look and so I can actually see this myself. Yeah, 885, and I was at one point sitting outside the top 1 million, so it softened it a wee bit, but it is still 150k red. What to do? What to do? Well, I've already done one thing. It's do I do anything else? So once again, so look through the spreadsheet, and this is how I'm going to currently run it. I do have some benching dilemmas that may take care of itself, I guess. We'll talk to that. So let's talk through it. Okay, Verbruggen. It's not a bad fixture, I guess, but I would like to upgrade John at some point, maybe to a Sanchez, maybe even to a Pickford, depending on money, depending on how I free up money. Question becomes, and I'll get to it shortly, do I want to free up that money with some of the fixtures that are coming up? Because sod's law, I do take out a Palmer. Well, let's face it, who used to be my golden child, my Mr. Consistency, Saka. Take him out. Fucking shitloads of money. Loads of money. But, why do I feel it'll bite me on the bum? Anyway, Verbruggen, Everton home. It's not a bad fixture, I guess. But once more, I think I jinxed it a few weeks back when I said the one thing I've done well this year is my goalkeepers and my goalkeepers rotations, and immediately John goes out of the team and Verbruggen's clean sheets dry up. I swear I'm jinxed, jinxing myself. But on paper, not a bad fixture at home to Everton. But Everton do have Ndiaye back now, and yeah, they've got a few players back. Dewsbury Hall's back, so I think they might start to be a bit more of an attacking threat. It's not a bad fixture. Nunes, Tottenham away. Don't trust the City defence. Nunes has. His numbers there are not bad. He's got 2 11s out of 5 there. The 2 is just a nominal 2 I put in for the game that he's missed, just so that it reflects the lowest floor number. So his averages are actually a bit more than the 5.4 if I just took the 4 average, but I want to be realistic with this. So 5.4 average. Alderete, well, boy, did I make a mistake there, really, when I wildcarded, but I had the exact money, so I chose to save a few bucks and went to Alderete, who was on an exact same average of Mukiele. Mukiele, in the meantime, has gone from strength to strength with assists and DEFCON, and Alderete has not. Still think he's a decent pick, though, for this fixture at home to Burnley, and it's not a transfer that I can afford to make in the next few weeks, and he'll obviously probably go on the bench, as would potentially Nunes. I've got some decent bench rotations there for game week 25 when we get to it. Gabriel, yeah, well, you're always going to play him. It's Leeds away. Will obviously really disappointing with just getting the 2. That's the FPL hat on, and you've already seen the United hat. I couldn't have been fucking happier, but it's not helping my FPL. It's still obviously buzzing from the United win, but the triple Arsenal blank did not help me at all. But his averages are still 8, and he starts to become a genuine captaincy thought with some of those fixtures, Leeds away, Sunderland at home in particular, where you would have thought Arsenal should get back to their clean sheet ways. Rice, again, I am a jinx. Rice has been one of the most consistent players in FPL. You know, DEFCON, goal threat, on set pieces, the occasional clean sheet point as well, or reasonable amount of clean sheet points. You know, he was up showing sort of nine plus average, and of course since I brought him in 21, nada, nothing, zero. Fucking hell, you couldn't write it. Enzo, big plus this week. Obviously, we're trying to. This is one of the dilemmas I do have now. Enzo, yeah, I mean, in that number 10 role, great. But you know, even if he's not playing that 10 role, if Palmer is out, he's on penalties now. Obviously, got the benefit of that. He does pick up the occasional little bit of DEFCON. He crashes the box. Again, showing real level of consistency across the last 5, 9, 11, 1, 6, 8. Lovely. Now, what's the bet? And that dries up now that I brought him in, even with that run of fixtures: West Ham, Wolves, Leeds, and Burnley. I mean, it's a logical, absolutely logical transfer. With those fixtures, with his consistency, possibly on penalties now, what could possibly go wrong? I'll tell you what could go wrong. Me bringing him in. It is the story of my season. Palmer, currently flagged. Again, I don't believe any of the noises until I actually see the reality. But didn't obviously make any appearance at all in 23. But it does give me a rather lovely looking, if he plays, gives me a rather, on paper, I know, lovely looking double up with Chelsea for some of those fixtures like West Ham, Wolves, Leeds at home, Burnley at home. But does he play, or, and I'll come back to it in a second, or do I do something? Bruno. Yeah, just showing the average of 5.2 there, but I've got just the two low floor in 19 and 20. But in truth, Bruno's averages are clearly much higher than that. Are we falling into a United trap? I mean, they're the most highly bought players already so far this game week. You know, Bruno, Dorgo, even though he's flagged, is getting bloody bought. Mbumo. It is really, really tempting, isn't it, to do a United double or triple up? Who's for a Maguire in a couple of fixtures like that, where he could get on the end of a Bruno corner, or cash cow Mainu. Looks like he's solid in there. I'm not saying I'll do this. These are just, we have a million thoughts in any given game week in the lead up to any given game week. But you know, move Palmer out for Mainu. Fucking huge wedge of cash. Bump up that bench. Do a really sexy bench boost. Don't think I'm going to do it. Don't think I'm going to do it. It is a thought. I could even then turn Saka into Salah. Do I want to do that? Don't know. It's a punt. Don't know. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. I do already know what I'm going to do. Robbie. So yeah, Bruno. Yeah, you know, grand. I mean, and I have currently got, as you can see, oh, hang on, I haven't actually done it, have I? Bear with me. Yep, no, I have. I've got it up there. Sorry, guys, I thought I hadn't changed the screen. Bruno. Currently got the captain's armband on him. Now, that's grand for Fulham and Tottenham. But of course, what we have is the probable Arsenal double coming in 26. City won't be moved in there, but the blank in 31 is something we have to look towards as well. That's going to come up upon us before we know it. My point on the blank in 31 is I have to get to a point where I'm rolling some transfers soon, because we're going to have City blanking and Arsenal blanking in 31. Now, currently, I've only got one City player. Right? No, I've got two City players. Yeah, Nunes and Haaland. You know, so, but I need to have the squad in such a shape as that, you know, I can bench three Arsenal players in 31 and sell two players, or three if I do decide to go for a City treble up and then get them back if I want them in 32. It's a little minefield ahead. There's a little minefield ahead. Do I want a City triple up? I don't think so. Semenyo's definitely of interest. How many of you, by the way, if you got the deadline news, because this was the one that did pass, so I did, as I say, move Foden out and I brought in Enzo. I did have a thought Foden out and Semenyo in, and throw the captaincy armband on Semenyo. What I felt I could be doing for myself there further down the line, the reason I didn't go there, is creating a potential minutes risk. But I fucking wish I'd done it now. Anyone go that path? I'm sure one or two did. It felt like a really good, logical option. Back to the case, the point in hand. Bruno, I think I'm going to have the captaincy armband on him, certainly for the next two. And depending on what's happening with Arsenal, I mean, are they doing the Arsenal cookie crumble? I didn't think they were going to do it this year, but they have not. They've dropped points in the last 3 now. It was a great United performance. I was absolutely thrilled. But the reality is, Arsenal have been dropping points, and they're slowly getting reeled in by Villa. And despite City's not amazing form either, City are getting closer to them as well. They're just 4 points off. Got to monitor that, but Gabriel, Rice, and Saka, and that is one of the reasons why I'm loath to transfer out Saka any time in the next couple of game weeks. I've obviously done my one transfer this week, so any further transfer this week would be for a hit, and I don't think I'm going to go there. There is a little bit of a punty Des that does actually think, fuck it, sell Palmer, bring in, as an example, a Mainu, a Garner, someone in that, because I think Mainu's only 4.4. He'd be a bench player obviously, but handy for the bench boost in the right area. Then we'll have loads of money to upgrade Barnes to Bowen. I don't think I'd scrape a Watkins, and I think I'd probably go a Bowen or somewhere in that area, because then I think I'd still have enough maybe to turn John into a playing keeper. So I could take a couple of hits, find the right players in the right fixtures. Could do a lovely little bench boost this week, particularly with the likes of Alderete. I mean, there's a great run of fixtures, so if I could firm up that bench, Barnes and John, with the right players, I'd have no problem with Mainu, given that fixture at home to West Ham, or someone. You get what I'm saying. I don't think I'm going to do. There's a little bit of a waffle there. It is a thought though, and then I could actually sort out a few of the weaker spots in the team and pay for it with some hits. I spoke about that last game week, and I didn't do it. I'm not sure it would have worked anyways. Well, it wouldn't have worked given the amount of players that didn't make the field, etc. I'd have dug myself another hole to get out of. So yeah, I'm going to resist that temptation at the moment. But I have obviously done the Bruno transfer early, so just fingers crossed. I had to do it because it was Bruno G that went out obviously, and with the Bruno G going out, I had the exact money to get to Bruno Fernandes, and it means that I've sort of, not necessarily the hardest fixture these days, but you don't know with Liverpool. It means that I do have a sea of green there, and Chow's obviously can go on the bench for Liverpool away, and I've got some decent bench cover there with Tarkowski obviously to come in if there is an issue. So I've got a little bit of cover there. Where are we at? It's a little bit of a waffly one here, so it's weird being in the new environment. Brobby, Burnley home, lovely, fine. Guys, actually, he's returned in 3 of the last 5. Seems to like the green fixtures. Sunderland at home. Yeah, could be a really lovely differential. Could be, but it's not. And Haaland. What to do with Haaland? I don't know. I mean, we have to keep him for now, don't we? But is it? I don't think so. My thoughts on it. I think that was Haaland's rest. My opinion. Do not take it as gospel. I don't think his minutes will be a risk going forward, particularly now that City are back in sight of Arsenal. You know, if Arsenal should, I can't see them dropping points to Leeds, but you know what? Wouldn't surprise me if that ended up something like a 0-0 or a 1-1. You know, and I think you know, if City get the bit between their teeth, that you know they'll see an opportunity. They'll see an opportunity. Time will tell on all of that. So that's the team, and once again, on paper, it looks lovely. It looks fantastic. I know, I say that every week, don't I? Most weeks. But now is not the time to panic. What do I need to focus on? Got the cover on the bench. The team looks okay. Palmer's probably the big doubt. But again, the noises are that he's going to be okay. Think I don't think Chelsea, having now just dropped outside of the Champions League places, I don't think they can afford to take chances. So I think if Palmer's all right, he will play. If he's not all right, then I've got Tarkowski to come in, and then it probably would be using Palmer next week to bring in the right player with the right fixture, freeing up some money to strengthen the bench, and please, I don't know why I bother making plans, get in a position to roll from about 27, 28, so I can build up at least, you know, at least 3, hopefully 4. I doubt I'll get to 5 by 31, 32. But I'll get to 3 to 4 transfers, and the big decisions obviously will be, do I bring in more City, more Chelsea? They've been inconsistent as well. Don't know the answer to those questions. I think I just have to let this game week unfold with this beautiful looking team on paper, and I'll end up with another bloody 35 points. Take care. Have fun. Play your own game. Don't panic. Don't forget to let me know where in the world you are from, and we'll get a pin in the map for you. Back with the Bishop Brennan Cup and final decisions, and lock in a couple of days after the European matches. I'll see you lot soon. Bye bye.